Our reporter Neha Poonia, she joins us live from New Delhi. Neha, good afternoon to you. So Ajay Gupta responding there to allegations about peddling influence. I mean, we've had ministers in the past talking about how Gupta members offered them or said that they could help elevate their position within government. So just tell us a bit about this.
That's right, Natasha. That's one of the very pointed questions that the delegation of local journalists put to Ajay Gupta. And in that regard, all he said is, it's my word against theirs. He said that he's nothing but a businessman and has no interest in politics. He said that he's tried to stay away from politics throughout his duration of stay in South Africa. And he's maintained that his family is completely innocent. And his defense for that is, he says, if I were guilty, why would I be fighting these allegations in court? He maintains that he's won 2 cases already and there are 2 more cases pending. And he says that the government of South Africa can't prove a single charge of state capture against him or his brothers.
And he's also explained, as we heard in that clip earlier, his ties with Jacob Zuma's family, specifically with Jacob Zuma's son, Duduzane Zuma.
That's right, because when he started speaking to the reporters, Natasha, he said he's not doing this to sort of give a press statement or a press conference. He said he just wants to set the record straight. So one of the many questions he was asked was about his links to Jacob Zuma. He was asked whether Jacob Zuma stepped down because of the Gupta brothers, and he said that's completely incorrect. He said Zuma stepped down because of his own political compulsions and because of his party, and not because the Gupta brothers were involved with him in any way. He's also maintaining that Jacob Zuma's son was a Gupta partner, business partner since 2006, and he says this is way before Jacob Zuma came to power. And he's also said that the law in South Africa mandates that someone from South Africa is part of most business organizations there. And he says Jacob Zuma was included by the Gupta family on their board of directors not because he was Zuma's son, but because he was someone who had enough merit to qualify for that position.
So he's been saying that he just wants to set the record straight. Is this the only reason why he's finally deciding to speak out? And why specifically is he addressing the local media there and no one else?
Natasha, we had reached out to Ajay Gupta for an interview as well, and he told us, the SABC, that he didn't want to speak to anyone from South Africa because he maintains that the media in South Africa has an agenda and are vilifying him and his family. So that's why he's turned down any other requests. When it comes to the local media persons in Saharanpur, he says he's doing this because he wants to reiterate his innocence. He says that as someone who's grown up in Saharanpur, the only people he owes an explanation to are the people of Saharanpur. So that's his explanation. But one would also reckon that this is his first visit to India since those tax raids took place at his home, at his properties across India. And there has been a lot of talk about the Gupta brothers in the Indian media, something we didn't see previously. So one would assume there is a sense of discomfort as well. There is a sense of wanting to clarify the Gupta's presence and their track record. Also many questions being asked about if they're innocent, why did they leave South Africa, which is also something that he clarified by saying that they hadn't left South Africa permanently. He says they've only gone away for a few days, months, if you will. And he says that all my family, except for me, are South African residents, so he doesn't see why they would leave their home country.
All right, so that's interesting. So then he has confirmed then that he is a South African citizen as well as his family.
Not him, Natasha. He said that everyone except for me, he said all my family members except for me are South African citizens. And I know there was a bit of a controversy surrounding that in South Africa. So he's setting that record straight on that as well, saying that the rest of my family except for me all hold South African passports. We are South African citizens. So why would we want to leave our home country?
What's been the reaction to his interview?
The people in Saharanpur who interacted with him, you can see that in the video yourself, and that interview plays out, is sort of a very friendly behavior towards him, and that's generally the atmosphere in Saharanpur as well. The people who know him, the locals in that town, have always sung his praises and his brother's praises. They believe that the brothers are completely innocent, and from what we're hearing, they've bought this explanation. They do believe this is some sort of a political conspiracy, which is why the Guptas are being targeted.
All right, Neha, thanks so much for that. We'll leave it there. Neha Poonia live for us with an update on